Guten Tag, my fellow Raptor pack. It is me, Mr.Spinosaurus, coming at you with a nice little video. Now, before we start this little video, I would like to say, if you end up liking this commentary on the channel, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this topic. And as you can clearly see today, this topic is the new expansion, the new DLC for ARK Survival Evolved, being ARK Scorched Earth. Now, I'm going to break this up into two parts, I believe. Three parts, actually. This will be part one, which is my overall view. Part two will be about the creatures, and part three will be about the map. So, without further ado, let's get started. First off, I would like to say, I think ARK totally needed a new kind of reboot in a way. To where it was something like this, but I did not imagine that they would take more of a mythical approach on it. Um, because, well, for one, they needed the expansion because there were just too many dinosaurs, there were too many creatures in the regular world. It seemed like the ecosystem was completely messed up. Uh, it seemed like everything in there was messed up. It was crazy. It was bleh. Um, so I definitely think they needed this. As for the mythological, for those of you that don't know, there's things like wyverns, giant sandworms, golems, rock golems. Yeah, um, it definitely doesn't. They've pretty much made a new game within a game because sure, we had the dragon, we had the broodmother, we had the megapithecus, but those were bosses. The wyvern, as you can see here, is a tameable mount, and one that does not need a saddle, may I add. So it's very interesting to know that ARK is kind of turning away from the dinosaurs and going more towards the dragons and ogres and all that kind of stuff. Uh, do I like it? I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it because to me, ARK is supposed to be a dinosaur game, not like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of remake type of thing. Uh, I mean, I was completely fine with the bosses because they were bosses. There were only three of them that could be in the world. But this, I don't know. It doesn't scream ARK. It screams more of a new game to me. Kind of like a sequel, but not a sequel, if you know what I mean. It's very interesting, really. But moving on, um, there were a few mechanics that I want to talk about, such as the wyverns. Uh, they have different typings, like Anunnaki Genesis, which I found very interesting. That arc kind of, I don't know if they took inspiration from Anunnaki Genesis, but there's lightning wyverns, fire wyverns, acid wyverns, or not acid, but torpor wyverns. So they have different abilities, different kind of subspecies, all falling under the one wyvern kingdom, which I find pretty cool. That's something ARK definitely needs is variety because I mean to me the colors of the dinosaurs they're kind of bleh. Some don't really have much difference while some are just kind of retextured or not retextured, repainted. It would be nice to see uh, maybe a velociraptor, that looks normal, has green feathers, green scales, and then come across a velociraptor with a different pattern, not only a different feather color, like a striped raptor or a checkered raptor. Uh, it would just be interesting to see those kind of things in all dinosaurs, not only raptors. Because I think that's one thing that kind of really didn't want to make me go out hunting for a certain color of raptor, you know. But you could argue that's where paint comes in, and yeah, you're right. But it might be hard to paint a wyvern. Just saying. Um, the rock golem. Uh, I think that has a beautiful mechanic to where it uses camouflage, which is something that we haven't really seen before in ARK is camouflage. The golem can turn into a rock, like an actual rock. It looks like an actual rock that you would mine and go up to. But when you try to go up to it, it springs to life and attacks you because in the dossier it says it's very, very territorial. So I find that very interesting. Another new mechanic that ARK definitely needed to make uh, the experience kind of real. Because in real life, dinosaurs used um, camouflage. Maybe not to that extreme level, but they still use camouflage. Um, now, water. That's what I want to talk about. Water is a huge thing in this because you're in a desert, and there's a lot of animals that will help you get water, such as the jug bug or the camel that I can't remember the name of. That is something that I definitely felt needed to be in ARK because I didn't always want to carry around like a little bag full of water when I could have used that slot for a gun or a pickaxe or something else more useful in terms of combat or gathering. So it's nice to have a creature that just kind of carries water for you so you don't have to carry that water bag. It's very, very nice. Um, this kind of reminded me of a post-apocalyptic apocalyptic apocalyptic. Thank you. Apop apocalyptic. You know what I'm trying to say. World because there's giant insects also involved, and I find that very interesting. And you will see in my next video that one creature I find very interesting is the mantis, and that's because it is described to have uh, a very, very big brain, so big that it even communicates with its own species using a certain kind of sound uh, type thing. And I find that very interesting. And it, it, it just makes the animals more human. And that's quite cool because one thing I really like about taming is that you want the tame to kind of be with you, kind of like your sentinel or your sentient being. You really want it to have a mind of its own, but not too much of a mind of its own to where it just goes off and does its own thing. You just want it to be intelligent, but not intelligent enough to want to overthrow you. It's very, very interesting, and I love how they did this. So, overall, this is a amazing, phenomenal DLC. I highly recommend you pick it up. Sadly, it is $20. Uh, it's not free like the map expansion for the center, but trust me, it is worth the $20. Trust me. It's very fun, very, very captivating. I highly recommend that you get this DLC, especially if you love mythical type things like I do, you know, because you're gonna trust me, you're gonna want to tame a wyvern. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, if you're new to the channel and you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think of this expansion pack, and tell me, what animals do you want to see in the expansion pack next? Because I definitely think that ARK is going to keep on adding more onto this. But yeah, guys, we'll talk about that in the next video, or the video after, or maybe another video. But anyway, guys, I'm Mr. Spinosaurus. I'll see you all next time. Auf Wiedersehen.